Today's episode gives the true meaning to there's levels to this ish. Since the recent outbursts of Kanye, or should I say Ye, I realized that some people think that having a lot of money comes with power, when the truth is, how you got the money is how powerful you will be. If you thought social media made the world small, at the top, the world gets even smaller. Today I'm breaking down the Big Six, the 6 companies that own almost all the media in the world. See, these 6 media companies are known as the Big Six. While the independent media outlets still exist, and there are a lot of them, the major outlets are almost all owned by these 6 conglomerates. To be clear, media in this context does not refer just to news outlets. It refers to any medium that controls the distribution of information. So here, media includes 24-hour news stations, newspapers, publishing houses, internet utilities, and even video game developers. Now, with that in mind, Vibe Tribe, let's take a look at each of the Big Six, who control them, and what they own. Media conglomerate number 1, National Amusements. Now, unless you're directly involved in a business and/or entertainment, you've probably never heard of National Amusements before. The company owns movie theaters throughout the world, about 950 total, but it owns much more than just movie theaters. See, NA's huge collection of properties is staggering. Whether they own a company entirely, possesses majority shares, or even own minority voting shares, the scope of NA's reach is enormous for a company that's known less than its subsidiaries. Head Sumner Redstone. See, Sumner Redstone is the current owner of National Amusements and all its properties. While his daughter Shari has the title of president, Sumner Redstone retains most of the control over the company. NA was first founded by Sumner Redstone's father, Michael Redstone, making National Amusements one of the most powerful and successful corporate dynasties in the United States. None of the Redstones published their salaries. After all, National Amusements is a private company. However, finance experts can guess at Sumner Redstone's overall net worth. His net worth refers to the total financial value of what Sumner Redstone owns, minus any outstanding debts. As he nears his 94th birthday in 2017, Sumner Redstone and his estate is worth an estimated $4.6 billion, according to Forbes. While a decent amount of the value comes from his stake in National Amusements, much more of it comes from the companies that he owns. TV and film assets. The most famous assets of National Amusements are almost all of Viacom and CBS properties. Combined, they make up to the lion's share of NA's television and film acquisitions. Still, that's only a portion of what NA owns. Print assets. National Amusements has the modest collection of print publishers, but they're pretty well known. The most well known is Simon & Schuster, which National Amusements acquired when it purchased Viacom in 1999. Video game assets. Along with other entertainment assets, National Amusements controls CBS Games. Since its acquisition, CBS Games has rebranded to CBS Interactive, which now controls well-known gaming websites that we look at next. Internet assets. With CBS Interactive, National Amusement controls giant chunks of the video game news and sports news industries. These brands include GameSpot, Metacritic, CNET, and 24/7 Sports. Media conglomerate number 2, Disney. Disney is probably the most well-known media name on the list. The company has a hand in just about every medium in the world, from children's cinema to sports. Now, when it comes to the television and film, there's a good chance you're watching something owned by Disney Company, even if it doesn't have Disney's name. Why? They own so much. Let's start with the company's leader, Bob Iger. See, Disney announced Bob Iger as CEO on March 13th, 2005, following the departure of Michael Eisner. Since then, Iger has run a campaign of mergers and acquisitions to expand Disney into an even greater media powerhouse, especially with the acquisition of Marvel $4 billion and Lucasfilm $4 billion. His published salary is $44.9 million. Check out the breakdown. So you're asking yourself, why does Iger make so much money? He technically oversees all of the following companies: TV and film assets. First, let's take a look at the bread and butter of Disney: television and film. Considering they have theme parks built in their entertainment assets, it's clear that Disney is best known for its TV and film properties. See, Disney owns so many companies that you really just have to see it for yourself. Now, their print assets. Disney's print assets are a mix of proprietary publishers, Lucasfilm acquisitions, and Marvel properties. The mix gives Disney a controlling interest in massive publishing niches, especially comic books and science fiction novels. Disney also owns ESPN, which has its own publishing arm for all things sports. Video game assets, they're not huge, but they're enough to keep Disney mildly competitive and up to date in the video game industry, especially mobile gaming. GameStar, a subsidiary of Disney Interactive Studios, is one of the best known video game developers bought by Disney. Media conglomerate number 3, Time Warner. Jeff Bewkes. Jeff Bewkes is the CEO of Time Warner. He makes $32.5 million per year. So why does one American earn to make as much money as Micronesia in a year? As the head of Time Warner, he's responsible for all of the following companies: TV and film assets. Time Warner owns an incredible amount of television and film properties. The most famous is probably Warner Brothers Animation Studios, which owns properties like Looney Tunes. Along with that, Time Warner has joint ventures in the CW and Hulu, along with ultra niche TV programming for medical waiting rooms. Time Warner has also played a big role in comic book adaptations into movies. Most notably with Batman Last, Time Warner's HBO branch achieved global renown with its runaway fantasy drama, Game of Thrones. Media conglomerate number 5, News Corp. See, News Corp is a media conglomerate best known for its line of Fox companies. Those include Fox News, Fox, and pretty much every other company with the name Fox in it. The company generated more than $33 billion in 2012, and it controls a huge number of print products compared to other media conglomerates. To get a better grasp of News Corp, let's check out the CEO, Rupert Murdoch. While News Corp underwent a split in 2013, Rupert Murdoch remains the head of the most News Corp's current assets. With a hand in television, film, music, and print, Murdoch is perhaps the most successful Australian entrepreneur to build an international empire. As a result, Murdoch earns $22.3 million per year. And last but not least, media conglomerate number 6, Sony. Sony is one of the oldest companies on this list. Since it was founded in 1946, it also was one of the most recent CEO changes. In 2012, Kazuo Hiraya became CEO of the entire corporation, which might be the most well-known electronics brand on the planet. But Sony is so much more than an electronics company. They have the most interest across almost all media industries. And excuse me if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, Hiraya has helped keep the company current and competitive. See, Kazuo started work at Sony Music Entertainment Japan in 1984, and he has been with the company ever since. He has climbed Sony's corporate ladder quickly, eventually accumulating with his CEO appointment on April 1st since 2012. Since then, Sony had some problems, but it also had some successes. At 55, he is one of the youngest leaders of a global conglomerate, but still he clearly knows what he's doing. For his vision, Kazuo earns about $4.9 million every year. Compared to the other CEOs and presidents of this list, that's pretty modest, but it's still life-changing money for 99% of the world. So there you have it, my Vibe Tribe. These are the biggest companies in the world. Until next time, Mickey made it.